Hello, Faith Baptist Church. We live in unprecedented times. As you are all well aware, America is facing a health crisis, the proportions of which we are not yet sure. This, of course, has presented challenges in our daily life as well as our church life. I want to encourage you to watch this video throughout its entirety, as I will be presenting information that is important for our church family. According to the latest guidance given by President Trump, we are to abstain from gatherings of more than 10 people. I think this is important because if we are to stop the spread of this virus, we must maintain some vigilance in not contacting one another. That, of course, puts us in an awkward position as a church family and as a faith community. So my desire is to honor our president's guidance. I think that is the right thing to do. And because of that, we are canceling all church services and all church-related activities through March the 29th. That will mean the next two Wednesday nights and the next two Sunday services. Two Sundays ending, of course, on March 29th. That will be the final canceled service. We're doing this because we need to honor our president and for the safety of the flock. I'll get into that more in just a moment. We will, however, be live streaming services on those two Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock each, and then Sunday morning services at 10:30 in the morning on Sunday morning. The live stream services will also be available on Facebook and other media outlets as recordings in case you cannot make the time. Last week we had some problems, technical problems with the server website, which is sermonaudio.com, because of the volume and the traffic that they experienced last week from not just our church, but other churches across the nation. Their website went down. If that happens, please do not despair, because we will post recordings on social media as quickly as we can. In the midst of this crisis, which is something that none of us have ever gone through before, we had to determine certain guiding principles. And so these are the principles that I, as the pastor, have settled upon. The first principle is this, that I think we ought to obey our president's guidelines. President Trump certainly does not want the interruption to the economy and the American life as we have today, and he takes this matter very seriously. When our president takes something seriously, it is incumbent upon all Americans to take this seriously as well. And so at this point, we're going to follow the guidance of our president. That is principle number one. Principle number two is I have a responsibility to shepherd our church and to protect the flock. Part of that responsibility is keeping people from things that may be harmful, and certainly this virus could be harmful, especially to our older population. For that reason, I have determined that it would be unwise for us to skirt the polite request of our government to abstain from gatherings of more than 10 people. I want, first and foremost, our people to be safe and to be with us for a long, long time to come. I want to promote the health of our people. And so as the shepherd of the flock, I have made this decision that we must follow the guidance of our president and we must protect the flock at all costs. A third guiding principle is this, our testimony in the community. Some have suggested, and I think these were good suggestions, that perhaps we could have meetings but divide people up into various rooms and live stream services to those rooms. While that might be well and good, it certainly would not work with our president's guidance of now meetings of 10 people or less. And while that would also be nice because of the fellowship we could enjoy, the testimony to the community could be harmed because as people drive by on Highway 36, they would see perhaps 100, 200 cars in the parking lot, however many we can fit. And if they saw those cars, they would automatically assume that we were in violation of the president's orders. I think that our church would get a black eye in the community based on that assumption alone. And I want to honor both the letter and the spirit of what our president has asked, and so that is what we will do. Those are my three guiding principles. Now, of course, this time presents challenges to the church from a financial standpoint. We are in the midst of a major building program. We had scheduled a major offering that will have to be rescheduled in all likelihood, and the day-to-day giving has become more challenging. In a moment, Pastor Ogden is going to explain how you can give and maintain your stewardship to the church, even in this difficult time. But let me assure the congregation that I have met with the pastors of our church, and we have determined that at this time there will be no spending apart from anything that is necessary. We will not be buying things in advance of activities that may or may not happen, for example. And because we're not operating the church as it normally would, our expenditures will be low anyway. but I have emphasized to the staff that there will be no unnecessary or outside spending during this time. We are going to bring things to very tight. We're going to bring things tight in regard to our budget. And I think the church family understands that I'm conservative and I mean what I say. Having said that, though, I do want you to have an opportunity to continue supporting the church. Through this time, your giving is more important than ever. We're in the middle of a building program. In addition to that, we have needs that we must satisfy regarding the church budget. And so Pastor Ogden is going to come in just a moment, and he is going to explain to us methods by which we can give to the church. We want to make this as easy as possible. We think it's our responsibility. One of the things that encourages me about Faith Baptist Church, this church has always risen to the occasion. Whenever there's been a crisis or a need or a problem, whenever I as a pastor have expressed a special need maybe for a mission work or missionary activity, immediately our church rises to the occasion. We do so with our prayers. We also do so with our resources. Well, folks, I'm asking as your pastor that you will continue your regular giving in the avenues that Pastor Ogden will explain in just a moment, and that you will step up to the plate and keep things going so that when we move through this crisis, the church will be on the good side, both physically, health-wise, as well as financially. And I really have no doubt that our church will do exactly what I'm asking. So at this point, I'm going to turn this over to Pastor Ogden. He's going to explain your options. We will do everything we can to help you with that. And then when he's done, I want you to come back as I close out the video with some very, very important information.
Thank you, Preacher. Church, as Pastor Monte said, we are doing everything we can to save money anywhere we can during these times. But there are some things that just can't wait. There are expenses that will be ongoing whether we have services or not. Things like keeping the lights on and paying our utility bills and things like that. But we also have our missionary support and a big construction project going on just down the road that we need to continue giving to so that we can continue to move forward with this ministry. This virus will pass and things will go back to normal, and we need to be prepared to do that. So we encourage you to continue being faithful in your giving during this time. With that being said, here are a few ways that you can continue to give. First of all, you can mail in your tithe and offering to the church. The address here at the church is 7090, that's 7090 East US Highway 36, Avon, Indiana, 46123. And I'll put that address down here at the bottom so you can see that. So if you'd like to stay home and just mail in a tithe check, you can feel free to do that. Just send it to the church at this address. Secondly, you're welcome to, if you feel like it, come by the church and drop off your tithe and offering checks here to the church. The offices are open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, so you can stop by anytime this week or next week during those times, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, right here at the church, and you can drop that off, give it to Danielle, and we'll make sure that it's properly accounted for. Third option is you can go ahead and give online. You can go to our church website, that's faithbaptistchurch.com. It's the name of the church.com, faithbaptistchurch.com, and you can click on the give button there right on our homepage. We've made it very easy to see, so you can do that. You can click there and you can sign up for online giving. If you haven't already done so, you can sign up right from there and get that all set up. It's pretty self-explanatory. I think the vast majority of you will be able to set that up with no problem. But if you do have any questions or concerns along the way, you feel free to call in to the church office, 317-272-4632. Give us a call or send an email to the church office, and we'll help you any way we can. I encourage you, as you're setting up online giving, to go ahead and consider setting up automatic withdrawal. You can do that through a bank account or through a debit or credit card, where it just happens automatically every week or every 2 weeks, every month, whatever interval that you'd like. But you can go ahead and set up automatic withdrawal, so it's one less thing that you have to think about during these times. So I encourage you to do that. You certainly don't have to, but it would certainly be a help to both you and to the church if you did. Now, perhaps you'd like to go the very easiest route possible, and that would be our text to give option. You've heard Pastor Monte mention it before, but text to give, you can send a text to this number, 84321. That number again is 84321. So you can send a text now to 84321, and you're just going to send the amount. Now, the first time you do this, if you've never done it before, it's going to send you a text back with a link that you need to follow to get everything set up, because you have to link a payment method to that. But once you've set it all up, and it'll walk you through all of that, Once you've set it all up, it's as simple as that. You just send the number you want, and it'll automatically go to the normal general operating expenses of the church. If you'd like to give to benevolence, missions, or to the building fund through text to give, you can put the amount you want to give, a space, and then the word either building, missions, or benevolence, and it will be accounted to that account. So again, the number to text to is 84321. The first time you do it, it'll walk you right through it. And after that, it's as simple as just sending the number and it'll go to general offering. Or you can just type the number and the account you want it to go to, and it'll be taken care of for you. If you don't feel comfortable with any of these methods we've mentioned before, either mailing or dropping by a check to the church, or using online giving or text to give. If you're not comfortable with any of that, or if you can't get out for some reason, you go ahead and give the church a call, and we'll send someone out to pick that up for you. We'll make sure that it gets taken care of. Again, we thank you that during this time of uncertainty, when we're not able to have in-person services, we thank you for your faithfulness to continuing to give to the ministries of Faith Baptist Church. You're not giving to this church, but you're giving to the Lord. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn this back over to Pastor Monte to wrap up this video.
Thank you, Pastor Ogden, for giving us that summary of ways that we can give. And now, let me mention some things. We understand that church ministry continues, even though the way that it looks and the way that it is conducted is going to be very different. We want, as a pastoral staff, to minister to the needs of our members and to the needs of our community as well. So we've discussed several things. Our pastoral staff will be calling members of the church throughout the week, checking upon you. If you have a particular need, I want you to call the church and let us know of that need. We will do our best to meet needs as they arise. Our deacons will continue to check in on the widows and shut-ins on a weekly basis, but at this point, we are asking that they call and that they not visit for obvious reasons. And then our Sunday school teachers are also being asked to shepherd their classes and meet any needs that should arise, but also keep track of people and keep in communication. Our desire as a church staff is not to go into hiding. We understand that contact could be very, very dangerous at this point, and that any one of us could transfer the virus to any number of members if we were to visit. We also understand the limitation that has been placed upon us as far as hospitals and nursing facilities and things like that are concerned. But we want to be here present and able to help the people. So if you have a need, I'm asking you to contact the church office, and our staff, our deacons, and our Sunday school teachers will be in contact with you as well. So anything we can do to help you through this time, I want you to know, as much as we can do, we stand ready and available to help. I love my congregation. I love what the Lord has done in this place over all these years. And while we face a serious crisis, Faith Baptist Church has always arisen to the call. And I trust that you will join me in working, in telling others about Christ, in loving people, in helping your neighbor, in helping members of the church. Wonderful idea for church members to call other church members and just check up on them. Do this as a ministry, because that's what the Lord's work is all about. The Bible explains to us that true religion and undefiled is to visit the fathers and the fatherless and the widows in their affliction. I think every one of us, to a certain degree, has a small level, at least, of affliction in these times of quarantine and these times of turbulence and uncertainty. Let's band together and encourage one another in love, as Jesus has said. Well, that's our message for you, and I trust that if you have any questions, you'll contact the church office. We are doing our very best to keep the ministry vibrant and alive, but to protect this congregation. God bless you until next time. Have a great day.